Neighbor's teenager kept jumping my fence to use my pool, smirking, "What's the big deal? It's just water." Furious, I drained the pool and filled it with foam blocks. The next time he jumped in, he screamed, "I think I broke something." But things got even worse when his parents showed up and discovered. You know when you think you've got life all figured out, and then someone comes along and flips your world upside down? That was me, living in peace in my cozy Scottsdale, Arizona home. I bought this place after years of hard work, and my backyard was my sanctuary, a sparkling in-ground pool surrounded by a tall wooden fence for privacy. I loved it. It was my retreat from the chaos of life. And then the Fergusons moved in next door. At first, they seemed fine. Mr. Ferguson was one of those guys who always had a beer in his hand and wore sunglasses on his head like it was part of his personality. Mrs. Ferguson was polite but seemed permanently frazzled, like she was barely keeping it together. But their 15-year-old son, Aiden, he was the poster child for entitlement. The kid had a cocky smirk plastered on his face at all times, like the world owed him something. I should have seen the warning signs, but hindsight's 20/20, right? The first time it happened, I came home on a Saturday afternoon, grocery bags in hand, and heard splashing. I thought maybe some neighborhood kids had lost a ball in my yard and were trying to fish it out. But no, there was Aiden in my pool lounging on a float like he was on vacation. "Hey!" I shouted, dropping the bags on the patio table. "What the hell are you doing in my pool?" Aiden didn't even flinch. He just looked at me with that smug grin and said, "What's the big deal? It's just water." Before I could respond, he climbed out, grabbed his shoes, and hopped the fence like he did this sort of thing every day. I was too shocked to even yell at him. I walked over to the Fergusons' house and knocked on the door, my anger bubbling just below the surface. Mrs. Ferguson answered, looking frazzled as usual. "Oh, that's just Aiden," she said with a nervous laugh. When I explained what had happened, "He's always getting into trouble. Boys will be boys, you know." "No, boys will not be boys," I snapped. "This is trespassing." She just kept nodding and smiling like I was talking about the weather. I could tell right away this wasn't going to go anywhere, so I left, hoping this was a one-time thing. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. The next weekend, I was relaxing in my living room when I heard splashing again. My heart sank. I peeked through the blinds, and there he was, Aiden doing cannonballs into my pool. He had a Bluetooth speaker blasting some awful rap song and a soda can sitting on my deck. He acted like he owned the place. I stormed outside, yelling, "Are you kidding me right now?" He looked up, completely unfazed, and said, "What's your problem, dude? You're not even using it." That was the moment I knew I wasn't dealing with a normal kid. This wasn't just a bratty teenager, this was a kid who genuinely didn't believe rules applied to him. I marched back over to the Fergusons' house, but this time Mr. Ferguson answered the door. "What's the big deal?" he said after I explained the situation. "It's just a pool. Let the kid cool off. You're being uptight."